With a news update on WHTC Holland's Cool FM, I'm Gary Stevens. A new month is underway, but the grip of the heat dome on the lakeshore, across the state, and much of the country from the end of the old month continues to be strong. The National Weather Service office in Grand Rapids has maintained an extreme heat warning through 8 o'clock tomorrow night, with temperatures in the 90s and heat index values up to 105 during the day, but little to no relief at night. Temperatures in the upper 70s, heat index values near to above 80 when the sun goes down. Brian Wheeler with Consumers Energy admits that running the air conditioner is not an option right now, but dialing up the thermostat can result to 1 to 3% savings per degree when nobody is home. It doesn't necessarily mean, though, putting up with a warm abode when people do return.
When I get home, I want to be comfortable. I understand that. So hopefully you've got a smart thermostat, a programmable thermostat. Set those settings so that it powers on maybe the hour or the half hour before you return so that the cool air is blowing in right as you walk through the door. Believe me, it's going to feel like a contrast from that hot weather outside.
Forecasters say showers and storms, along with slightly cooler temperatures, could come to the region as early as tomorrow and stay through the holiday weekend. 2 teenagers were arrested yesterday afternoon after stealing a vehicle and leading police on a chase in northeast Ottawa County. It all started with a report earlier in the day of a stolen SUV taken from the parking lot of the 48 West apartment complex off of 48th Avenue, just west of the GVSU campus. Around 1:45 p.m., a sheriff's deputy spotted that vehicle several miles away on Gooding Street near Van Dyke Street and attempted to pull it over. The suspect stopped at a residence and then jumped out, attempting to successfully flee the scene on foot. But after authorities had set a perimeter near Crockery Lake and searching a couple of residences in the area, they found and arrested a 19-year-old from Grand Rapids, along with a 15-year-old from Granville, both of whom were trying to hide under a pontoon boat. While the older suspect was taken to the Ottawa County Jail awaiting arraignment on multiple charges, the younger teen was turned over to parental supervision, and the recovered stolen vehicle was returned to its 20-year-old owner. No names disclosed. The incident remains under investigation. Jennifer Owens is going back to Kalamazoo. Yesterday, Southwest Michigan First announced that she has accepted the position of its chief executive officer.
She has been the president of Lakeshore Advantage in Holland since 2014. She's expected to start the new job August 17th. Owens previously served as the vice president of Southwest Michigan First and as a vice president of business operations at the Michigan Economic Development Corporation. Jonas Peterson left the job as CEO in February. Carlos Onis has been serving as interim CEO. I'm Michael Larney.
Owens took over for Randy Thalen 12 years ago at Lakeshore Advantage, and during that time, the Economic Development Agency supported expansion projects totaling over $2 billion in private investment and creating more than 2,300 jobs. Its revenue increased fourfold, and Owens helped raise more than $10 million to build the next center hub off of East 7th Street. She'll remain with Lakeshore Advantage through July 24th, and the Holland Sentinel's reporting in today's editions that the board has already begun identifying an interim president, and a broader search for a permanent successor is to follow. There are a few matters which the Holland City Council needs to address when it holds its bi-weekly business meeting this evening. One matter is terminating a brownfield reimbursement agreement for the Black River Flats development project off of Sherwood Avenue and M40. The initial plan was to construct a senior housing complex, a mixed-use commercial office building with upper-story apartments, and an approximately 200-unit apartment building on a 20-acre site at a cost of $56.8 million. The agreement from 2019 called for an annual report to the city by the developer, but the property has since changed hands, and the new owners have had issues trying to comply with the stipulation. The Tulip City's governing panel is also expected to consider several developments to the Unified Development Ordinance, as well as receive a final report of the strategic plan and business plan for the just completed fiscal 2026 budget year. The 6 p.m. Holland City Council meeting is in chambers at Holland City Hall off of River Avenue. An online link to the agenda and supporting documents is in the story at WHTC.com. The U.S. Coast Guard and local authorities will be increasing patrols of West Michigan waterways this 4th of July weekend. The annual Operation Dry Water aims to promote sober boating, as alcohol is one of the largest contributors to fatal boating accidents. Well, authorities state that the goal is not to ticket or arrest as many people as possible, but to educate voters so that they can stay safe. Ottawa County Sheriff Eric DeBoer has bolstered his office's Marine Patrol to improve enforcement efforts on the waters.
What we've done this year is taken a number of Road Patrol state-certified, can enforce all laws type deputies, and put them on the Marine Patrol for the summer, along with the Marine Patrol deputies, so that under the laws that kind of govern Marine Patrol, there's a certain group of laws that they can enforce, including Marine OWI and Sloan Awake and whatnot. But now we have state-certified police officers on those boats as well, so they can enforce any law.
Operation Dry Water will run on Friday through Sunday. President Donald Trump has approved $32.1 million in disaster relief for the state of Michigan. Storms hit the state hard in April, resulting in 9 tornadoes between April 10th and 26th. The storms also led to widespread damage and severe flooding in 43 counties, including Allegan County. Mr. Trump said Governor Whitmer was very grateful to learn of the funding request approval. A parasailer who got tangled up was rescued yesterday afternoon off North Beach in South Haven.
Another parasailer alerted people on the shore to the issue. They called 911. South Haven Area Emergency Services says the parasailer got tangled in the ropes just after 2:30 in the afternoon. They were able to get them untangled and brought back to shore. No one was injured. I'm Michael Larney.
Meanwhile, lifeguard towers are now in place in South Haven. Comes about a month after lifeguards returned to South Beach for the first time since 2001. The 2 towers will give lifeguards a better vantage point to keep an eye on those in the water. A 55-year-old woman has been arraigned on a felony charge of not stopping at an accident when at fault, resulting in death for a deadly hit-and-run in Kalamazoo on April 14th.
Carol Cross turned herself into police. She was released on a $500 personal recognizance bond after she was arraigned Tuesday. Now, the crash killed 28-year-old Azaria Smith. He was riding his motorcycle along Gull Road near the Speedway gas station when she turned her black Jeep Grand Cherokee into the gas station and hit him. Smith was thrown from the bike. He died after he was taken to Beacon Hospital. I'm Michael Larney.
Coldwater police say a 21-year-old man was stabbed to death by a co-worker at a meat processing plant on Monday night. Brandon Velasquez-Chavez got in an argument with that 20-year-old co-worker around 7:40 p.m. at Clemens Food Group. The younger man then stabbed the victim in the back. Velasquez-Chavez died at the scene. Suspect's name has not been disclosed. He is behind bars, waiting for arraignment. Convicted murderer Jeffrey Willis is seeking new trials, claiming he was wrongfully convicted of killing Rebecca Blush and Jessica Herringa. He was found guilty by separate juries in both murders. Herringa's body is yet to be found. She had disappeared from her job at a gas station in Norton Shores on April 26th of 2013. Blush was killed when she was jogging near her Dalton Township home on June 29th of 2014. Willis claims prosecutorial misconduct and an ineffective defense resulted in him being found guilty. Muskegon County Circuit Court Judge Matthew Casel will release a written opinion within 56 days. The deadline is today for state lawmakers to approve a fiscal 2027 budget, but it's looking as if the votes will be taken tomorrow.
A large omnibus spending bill and a school aid fund bill are expected to be approved. The chances of the school funding bill could be voted on today are 50%. House Speaker Matt Hall of Richland said last week the budget framework had been agreed to by the Republican-controlled House, Democratic-controlled Senate, and the governor's office without any tax increases. I'm Michael Larney.
Educators such as West Ottawa School Superintendent Tim Bearden are cautiously optimistic about what is known by some Lansing pundits as the school bus bill.
It does seem pretty consistent across both the House, the Senate, and the governor's office that the 10,300 mark is probably where we're going to be. That's a $250 increase to the per pupil allocation. The big question mark is going to be the categoricals. Where does funding fall for those at-risk populations, for our English language learners, for safety and security? Those would be the things that we're all waiting to kind of find out. But it does seem like this year we're going to be in a better situation than we were in last year.
Oakland County Judge Michael Warren has been endorsed in his bid for the state Supreme Court by both the Republican and Libertarian parties. His campaign says it's believed to be the first time an MSC candidate has been endorsed by 2 parties, and that Warren is honored by the rare point of agreement between the 2 parties. He's been a judge for over 2 decades. Meanwhile, Democratic Secretary of State, front-runner for governor in the Democratic Party, Jocelyn Benson, has started her statewide Cost Down Wages Up tour today, running through July 8th. She plans to speak with voters on plans to lower costs and boost pay. And joined by other elected officials, special guest on a 19-city tour starts today in Detroit, ends in Sheboygan. Tarek Skubal allowed just 1 hit with 9 strikeouts over 6 innings as the Tigers clubbed the Yankees in New York last night 9-3.
Dane did a great job of, figuring out spots to throw curveballs and throw spin and use the changeup effectively. And, I think I was able to get to my glove side a little bit better with four-seamers and sinkers, and that opens a lot. Especially when they're all right-handed, it opens up a lot of way. They have to cover a lot of stuff.
The series at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx concludes this afternoon with coverage from Dan Dickerson at 1:10 p.m. on WHTC Holland's Cool FM. Dansby Swanson hit 2 homers and drove in 3 runs as the Cubs slugged the visiting San Diego Padres last night 9-7.
So I just thought we had quality at bats up and down. Really got ourselves to advantage counts, and guys didn't miss pitches when they got them. So credit to the offense and our guys for coming through in the end on the mound and getting those last few outs.
The series at Wrigley Field in Chicago concludes this afternoon. Jacob Gonzalez had 3 hits with 3 RBI as the Chicago White Sox clobbered the Orioles in Baltimore last night 9-3. The series in Oriole Park at Camden Yards concludes this afternoon. Jeffrey Mercedes hit a solo homer and a 3-run round tripper, totaling 5 RBI last night as the visiting Lake County Captains outscored the West Michigan Whitecaps 20-11. The series at LMCU Ballpark in Comstock Park continues this evening. Get the latest news anytime at WHTC.com.